Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
All right, happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining us here on our live stream for First Alert 6. I'm Erin Hartley, joined by just Senior Chief Rusty Alert once again, just the two of us. We'll be back to normal. We'll back to normal Monday, right?
Yeah, we should be. Yeah.
Okay. In the meantime, dealing with this fog once again. This is what, day 3, 4?
It all kind of blends together.
I know.
I think it's 4. This is what it would be. I think it started on Christmas Eve, and we just haven't been able to shake it since. So that's pretty much the story here. Let's get a look at what we have going on with this fog out there. We're at 40 degrees. The number has not moved. We were 40 to 41 pretty much all morning long, all night long. Dew point of 40, so we have... Ooh, almost dropped that. 100% relative humidity, and you're right there in the middle of it. You can see how the fog is in every single street light here. That's 144th and Dodge. So many spots have dropped below 1 mile of visibility at the moment. You can see Lincoln at 5 miles of visibility, one of the better spots, but it has really settled in. And this time of year, you can get these days that build on each other just because the sun angle's so low. It doesn't help to warm us up enough to burn off this fog, and then you just got a little moisture left over, and it's kind of something that snowballs. We'll get a little help this weekend and get this out of here. So today should be the last day of the stubborn clouds and the fog. We got some gradual clearing on the way this weekend. I think the sun returns tomorrow, should stick around for Sunday, and then we're back to the clouds on Monday with some rain and some snow likely on our First Alert 6 weather day there. We'll have more on that in a little bit. Look at the dense fog that extends all the way from parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, down through Iowa, Nebraska, and Kansas. It does go all the way down into Texas with some of this dense fog. So pretty impressive system here with all the moisture on the north edge of this. And then you got some rain that extends all the way up to Minneapolis as of right now. You got some spotty showers off to the west that'll try to stream in here. And you'll look a little closer and you will notice that a little bit of this moisture now sneaking into the Columbus area on the west edge of our viewing area. So that is why I think the odds of getting a little rain today are a little bit better than what we had yesterday. So amongst all this moisture that's just hanging in the air, you might actually see a few showers fall, and you can see how this goes. We're kind of sandwiched in between it a good chunk of the morning. Temperature doesn't move much this morning. Here comes the shower activity from the west. It's light, less than 1/10 of an inch. You're not going to get much to help out. It's just going to continue to make things kind of muddy and damp in spots. Notice by 3 o'clock, up to about 46 for the afternoon high, 45 by 5, and we'll continue to fall off by 7, down to 43 the way it looks. Overnight tonight, the clouds will clear, so that's good news. We'll finally get these out of here, but that will allow the temperature to fall enough that I think we could see a little bit more fog to start off tomorrow, but we won't have the thick blanket of clouds on top of that. So that means we should be able to warm up and burn off that fog tomorrow. How about 52 for the high and some sunshine? It looks a lot better tomorrow, and that is well above average, nearly 20 degrees above average by tomorrow, and likely going to say the same story on Sunday with partly cloudy skies both days, and about 51 for that afternoon high on Sunday. So a couple of days there that are pretty mild. We earned it. It has been a kind of a gray and gloomy week. That could be the warmest we have for a little while, too.
I know, 52. We'll take that for late December.
Oh, without a doubt.
All right. Again, we'll take that because Monday we can already look ahead to some potential snow chances. Yeah,
some good trends with this anyway. Yeah. It does look like I think we can avoid problems during the evening commute out of Monday. If anything, we could get a rain mixing in with some wet snow that would melt off. We'll have to watch it, but odds are trending a little later in the evening with changeover, maybe closer to 8 o'clock. So we get afternoon rain with the First Alert weather day on Monday, changing over to snow overnight. Again, most of it's probably going to be done by 3 a.m., likely earlier for most of us, but 3 a.m. is the absolute latest. Biggest impacts north of I-80 with this one. Most of us will see less than 2 inches, and if you're going to get close to that 2-inch total, that's north of I-80, most likely. I would be very surprised if that much fell in Omaha, or at least that much accumulated with this. There's where the heaviest snow is. The darker blues show the bigger totals that are going to be farther to the north, lighter totals farther to the south, and you'll notice here during the overnight hours, I ran this all the way through about 6 a.m. Tuesday. It should be done snowing by 6 a.m. Tuesday. The problem is Temperatures will be in the 20s, so there may be some slick spots to start off Tuesday before we can warm the temperature up just a little bit. So again, it doesn't look like a huge impact, but we haven't had any decent amounts of snow. This is our next potential for it. You got some rain in the evening during the commute on Monday that will be changing over to snow later on after the sun sets, and then it does look like things will be colder for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. We'll talk more about that forecast here in a little bit, but you notice it brings in some colder air for the start of 2025, likely going to be in the 20s for afternoon highs. So that's not just us. We're going to share that with a lot of people.
Now 2025 is when we're starting to finally get into the winter weather.
Maybe we might be stuck between 20 and 25. We'll see for a couple of days.
All right. In the meantime, traffic.
Yeah.
Maybe picking up a little bit more today, day after Christmas.
Yeah, you wonder how many people are actually out and about.
I know.
We've been talking about this.
No kids in school.
Yeah.
Are they working a Friday? I don't know.
That's good news anyway. Yeah. I mean, because there's a lot of fog out there, and that's been the issue so far this morning. So we don't need heavy volume on the roads. Many places at a quarter mile or less with the visibility as of right now. So that is where we're at with this. It's easily a story with the fog. That's 90th and Dodge. That right there is I-80 and something. That's I-80 about 480, I think. It's so tough to tell. Everything's kind of gray and murky here. 144th and Dodge in the camera there, but everybody is reporting half mile to quarter mile visibility all across the area. So that is easily the biggest travel headache right now if you're out and about heading to work. Tough to just kind of get up and get going when it's this kind of blah outside. But there's been new construction that started yesterday. I got this notice, 72nd and F Street. They're doing some utility work, varying lane restrictions. So it may look a little different every day there for about the next week, taking you through the New Year's holiday. So be mindful of 72nd and F. Otherwise, green on the map, to be expected with the light flow of the traffic in the area. We are making our way around pretty easily no matter where we're at as of right now. So, well, there we go. Song and dance.
Back.
There we go. Yeah, so it's mostly about the fog this morning. We'll keep an eye on the First Alert weather day until then.
Okay. All right. Rusty, thanks. In the meantime, new this morning, a Glenwood man is dead after a crash in Mills County. According to authorities, 38-year-old Kevin Deichler was driving near Silver City when his car drifted off the road into oncoming traffic. The car eventually collided with a driveway embankment and flipped over the driveway. He was pronounced dead at the scene. In the meantime, Omaha police are investigating a reported shooting at an apartment complex. Police responded to a shots fired call at City View Apartments. This is near 22nd and St. Mary's Avenue. Police were told there was a victim, but they have yet to find them. First Alert 6 will bring you any new updates on air and online as soon as we learn more. In the meantime, even though Christmas is now officially over, the Better Business Bureau says you should stay on the lookout for scams. Fake package delivery texts have remained to be a problem. Now, the BBB says these texts or emails sent by scammers include shorter URL links that are more likely to get a victim to click. Now, if you're shopping on social media, don't always assume you're not going to be scammed.
Digital advertising is very common in and around the month of December too. And just because an ad appears on your timeline doesn't mean that it has received a stamp of approval from a legal counsel. It just means that someone has cut a check to that social media platform.
Now, in the meantime, the BBB recommends shopping local so you know who to get a hold of if something does go wrong. Now to the First Alert 6 safety desk. I'm here with Marie Cade with the latest from the FDA. Is something interesting that is a lot of products.
Absolutely, something that a lot of us use every single day, cosmetic products, and they contain different particles that are actually carcinogens. So the FDA is trying to do some new testing. They're proposing a new way to test those products to make sure that the levels are safe for us to use or that there's none at all. So if this is approved, the testing will focus on things that have talc. They'll be trying to find the carcinogen asbestos, and experts say it can be very dangerous because there is no safe level, again, if you are exposed. Now, the FDA says if it is approved, this could lead to fewer cancer diagnoses in the future. Right now, they are accepting comments on the proposal from the public for 90 days. So if you have some interest in that, you can submit your own proposal, and then the testing requirements can be finalized after that 90 days.
And as you said before, talc is in about everything.
Pretty much.
A lot of makeup products. So if you wear makeup,
Something
talc's
to be
probably in
careful
it.
of. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. In the meantime, you're also talking about some information that many of us could help us sleep just a little bit better.
Yes,
you
I
and
know.
I need it.
Absolutely. Getting good sleep, of course, it's important for our overall health. You have to do it every single day, and the recommendation is to get that 7 hours. Not all of us get it every night, of course, but health officials say that, many people aren't. That is something that they're really seeing, and experts say if you are going to bed, you're not going to want to leave your TV on as you try to drift off, because that could actually be impacting your sleep quality. So one psychologist says some of those TVs, they don't have blue light filters like maybe your cell phone, and that can actually negatively impact your sleep. So she says having the TV on, it's also affecting REM sleep. That's the stage where most of your dreams happen. So whether you are watching that TV and it's on, that can actually be impacting your dreams as well.
That's when we have that restless kind of sleep that we go into, and we may be sleeping, quote unquote, but we're waking up and we're not rested.
Now, to avoid that, she says you should practice some good sleep hygiene. So that could mean avoiding caffeine or alcohol before you go to bed, as well as afternoon naps. That's something I'm going to have to try and cut out, I guess. You can also try tea without caffeine to get you ready before bed. Turn your lights down a little bit lower. Maybe read a book instead of watching that TV. And she says if you do keep it on, you want to try and put a timer on your TV if you're able to. Maybe set it to turn off after an hour or 2 hours. That way the light is not projecting onto you while you're sleeping.
Something I'm bad at is looking at my phone before bed. I'm guilty. Maria, thank you. All right, we're back after this. All right, time now 7:16 on this Friday morning. We are looking at, do you know?
I think it's Midtown. Are those the Christmas lights?
Sure.
Okay, we'll go with that. Yeah.
Obviously, we're dealing with the fog this morning. That is the big story of today. But also, we're looking ahead to New Year's Eve. Many folks, of course, hit the town.
Yeah.
They go out. It's going to be cold, a little bit colder than I think what we were talking about yesterday now.
Yeah, I think the wind is going to be a little bit more of an issue. So we could be talking wind chills down in the teens for that. But I'm not liking that forecast as much, but at least it's going to be dry compared to today, where we have some showers, some drizzle around. We have clouds out there right now. There's the back edge of the clouds. We're going to get this in here later on today, but it's likely not until the sun sets, unfortunately. So you can see showers to the east. You got some to the west as well, kind of sandwiched in between here. These will try to move in as the day goes along. And, well, it's already pretty moist out there right now with temperature of 40 degrees, relative humidity 100%, visibility bad all over the place as the fog has really settled in. Many spots with less than a mile of visibility, so that is the biggest concern as you're out and about today, is the fog. If you got to drive anywhere, just know this is going to vary as you go along, but it's going to be pretty thick in quite a few spots. So right around 40 here the most of the morning. We'll start to climb a little bit this afternoon. It was amazing. We were able to get into the low 40s yesterday, even with the clouds. So I still think we'll probably get mid 40s today. A couple of showers possible late morning into the afternoon. Nothing all that heavy, but it's going to be kind of annoying today. Now tomorrow and Sunday, we get up into the 50s. That's pretty good news. Best days we may have for a while. Enjoy those. The sunshine returns this weekend. Notice the dip back below average by Tuesday, that final day of 2024. And before we get to that, we have a first alert weather day on Monday. Chilly rain in the afternoon, changing to some wet snow, trending a little later into the evening with that by 8 o'clock or so. Should be done around 3 a.m. at the latest for most of us. So I don't expect any falling snow by Tuesday morning. Could be some lingering impacts, but this is mostly Monday rain into Monday night snow event. Biggest impacts north of I-80 with less than 2 inches of accumulation for most. Again, another model here to show you where we have the heavier snow to the northwest, lighter accumulations. There could even be a little melting at the start of the snow event too, because we'll have some rain on the ground and temperatures aren't going to crash. So I don't think we're going to instantly ice up either, but it is something we'll have to watch heading into Monday. Let me show you what this looks like. This is the rain that kind of fills in as the afternoon goes along. There's 4 o'clock, snow to the northwest. Ignore the pink. That's just showing where it's changing from rain to snow. There's not going to be any ice or freezing rain or sleet with this, most likely. It should just be rain flipping to snow. Still some mix by 8 o'clock, but then it's snow into the evening. Notice after midnight, there's not a ton left. By 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, it is moving out, and there could be some lingering impacts for Tuesday to keep an eye on. Like I mentioned, though, that is the last day of 2024 here, and we have had some very, very cold New Year's Eves. I believe there was one morning, by New Year's morning, we got down to 20 below. They canceled the fireworks.
Oh my God.
The 7 o'clock fireworks downtown for good reason. It was dangerous.
Was it desolate? I mean, at that point, are people really brave in the cold?
You would think so. I wasn't there. I was sleeping, but we have some cold air that's on the way. It looks like for Tuesday night with the New Year's Eve celebrations. So with a high of 33, remember that's the high during the day. It'll cool down overnight down to 22 by the morning hours on New Year's Day. And then there's some colder air for the start of 2025. But here is a look at your New Year's Eve forecast. If you are going to head out, and by 7 o'clock with the fireworks, I think we're going to be down into the 20s. So if you're taking the family, the northwest wind is going to make it feel a little colder. That's one thing that stuck out a little bit more to me today compared to yesterday. Northwest wind gusts up to about 20, 25 miles per hour New Year's Eve night could put us in the teens with the wind chill. So I think wind chill is probably the biggest story New Year's Eve.
All right, bring that coat. Be prepared.
Without a doubt.
Okay, Rusty, thanks.
You bet.
In the meantime, Governor Jim Pillen is in the hospital this morning as he recovers from rib surgery. He is expected to stay there for a couple more days. The surgery comes days after Pillen was bucked off of a new horse. The goal was to stabilize the broken ribs that he suffered during that accident, and Pillen's doctors say his prognosis does remain good. Now, with Christmas now over, those who did put up a real tree now have to safely get rid of it if you're already looking to take it down. Tree collection sites in Omaha are open through January 9th. There are 14 sites. You're asked to throw your tree onto the pile to also leave room for others to also access the site. If you dump your tree after January 9th or dump other kinds of debris, you could face a fine for illegal dumping. An adorable Christmas Eve surprise for visitors at a zoo in Virginia. You got to check this out. It's the perfect way to start your Friday morning as we come back. All right, a Virginia zoo is celebrating a holiday arrival. This is a baby hippo. We kind of been on this baby hippo craze, right? Well, this is a brand new one. This baby was born December 9th at the Metro Richmond Zoo and made her grand debut Christmas Eve. Now, so far, she doesn't have a name. Now, the zoo says since the birth, the baby has been bonding with mom in an enclosure that's off exhibit. And they say the calf is nursing and growing very quickly. What do you guys, any names? That's kind of hard to think of on the spot.
I think we have one at our zoo, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw it with my daughter. It's cool if we can get them to swim by you.
Yeah.
So cute.
Really graceful as they're swimming. They are pretty cute.
Maybe a Christmas name. Born in December.
Mary. I don't know.
Mary, Noel.
Yeah. Ooh, Noel. I like that one too.
But Mudang needs to watch
Mudang.
out. Got some competition.
There's so many cute ones, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, in the meantime, that's going to do it for us on this Friday. We're going to be doing our cut-in right now. That starts in just a couple of minutes on air. In the meantime, have a great start to your Friday and to your weekend.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Time now 7:26 on this Friday morning. It's good to have you with us. I'm Erin Hartley. Let's get an update on traffic this morning. Foggy conditions could make it tough for drivers, Rusty.
Yeah, that is by far the biggest concern. The visibility keeps dropping around the area. We're a quarter of a mile or less. This 0.13 here, that's an eighth of a mile at the airport near Zero and Council Bluffs. So you are getting some low numbers with our visibility here. And we will continue to see those drop off as we make our way through the next couple of hours. I still think we're going to be dealing with this for a good chunk of the morning before temperatures start to climb. Just various views across the city with fog in them. 72nd and F Street, we do have some lane restrictions there that'll vary quite a bit over the next week. That's new construction on the map. Let's get a look at the forecast right now and another look out across 90th and Dodge. It is gray, it is murky. The temperatures are going to struggle to move much today. There's the dense fog that we have around the area again. Quarter of a mile in Denison, same story in Atlantic and Plattsmouth. We're down to an eighth of a mile in some spots, and satellite and radar showing us there. We're sandwiched in between a batch of rain to the east, some showers to the west. This will fill in a little bit, and that'll bring us some rain chances towards the middle of the day. That's why we're going to keep small chances of at least a little mist and drizzle all day, but the best will probably be near noon and a little bit after. Yeah, 46 for the high. The temperatures aren't all that bad at all. We just don't have any sunlight. We'll get that back this weekend. You can see it bumps us up into the 50s for a high Saturday and Sunday. Aaron?
Well, some of the words reportedly found on bullet casings used in the killing of the United Healthcare CEO have been written on sidewalks near the Blue Cross Blue Shield building in Omaha. Authorities say they know and are familiar with the person who they think did this. The time now 7:28. Back here in about 30 minutes with another update.